Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11.
Welcome into Home Track Heroes here on KSTW. Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. My name is Caleb Hart. He is Derek Hobbs, about to guide you through a whole lot of fun here this afternoon. The Napa Auto Parts ARCA 150 was on the docket for our Home Track Heroes show. Now, unfortunately, we don't have the TV rights to the ARCA series, so there will be no ARCA on this program. However, Derek, we've got a really fun program for you guys. Legends and street stocks, mini stocks, and a great Pro Late Model main event stacked up and ready to go.
Yeah, all the classes turned out for the day. It was great weather we got today, and it's going to be a great show.
Now, we should let you know, we're going to go back into the Wayback Machine to show you this because we had a little extra time here on the Home Track Heroes show today, and we wanted to showcase some of the guys who maybe not always get a whole lot of track time. We had an awesome Inex Legends B main event that was on recently. We didn't get a chance to air it on that program, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to that Inex Legends B main event, and again, this is not current. This one was from a few weeks ago. Here is your lineup for this 20-lap B feature. On the pole, it's Josh Wharton. Wharton is in car number 59, and next to him, it's Garrett Archer in car number 5.
In the second row, we have the 2M of Jeff Mueller, and next to him, the 98 of Aaron Flett, sponsored by Kent Collision Center.
Row number 3 is Josh Vlock. He's the 76C. Next to him, Davis Jacobson, the 15D, sponsored by Evergreen Concrete Cutting.
Next, we got the 5X of Chris Wright, and the 9 of Cody Graham, sponsored by Thorpe Fruit Stand.
Row number 5, Dakota Gruchala, the Weatherite Roofing Inc. number 27D. Next to Dakota is the 10 of Chris Thompson, sponsored also by Weatherite Roofing.
Next row, we have the 24 of TJ Roberts and the 99 of Travis Blivens.
Row behind them is Corey Boyle. He's sponsored by Absolute Auto Care of Gig Harbor in the 76, and Owen Craig going to be driving the 86 Legend next to him.
Then we got the 37 of Mason Nelson, sponsored by TriMed, and the 15 of Kurt Boyle.
Bella Luce, the 55 car at the back of the field. Legend B main, 20 laps in distance coming up. And green flag is out for Wharton in the 59, who will lead him down the front straightaway. This is a fun field of cars. It's a B main, but some very recognizable names within this B main that you've seen here on Home Track Heroes often. As they roll down, and we've already got a car around. The 24 of TJ Roberts around, facing the wrong direction, taking a look at the inside pit area, and that's going to give us a chance to restack them, re-rack them, and try this all over again.
Yeah, I mean, this B main is stacked.
It
I
is.
mean, there's a lot of tracks around the country would love this as their A main.
That's right. And
So
a lot of drivers who have been in and around, in fact, on our podium here at Evergreen Speedway within the Inex Legends. Mason Nelson, buried deep in this field, going to have to try to roll his way forward. We've seen all kinds of good stuff in the past from Garrett Archer and more. So take a second try at this as they come off the corner. And green out for the second time between Wharton rolling down the front straightaway, and right next to him, the 5 of Archer rolling through the middle.
Well, you got a couple of pro late or late model drivers in Archer and Graham in this, and Blivens has been in the street stock, so
Yep.
got a lot of really good drivers.
Good drivers, good equipment. We'll see how it all shakes out as lap 1 is in, and they are side by side for that top spot. It was Archer at the line, but Wharton battling really hard with Aaron Flett sitting in that third position. A very familiar and bright-looking 98 car. In fourth, the 2 of Jeff Mueller.
I'm not going to lie, I do love all the cars that are easily recognizable.
Well, Mueller, also different paint scheme on that car than we're used to seeing. Normally that car's got a lot more blue on it to go with the white. Now, whole new body on the 2 machine.
Ooh, uh-oh.
Look out.
Yeah, I got some trouble.
Problems in River City is coming off the second corner. The 10 and the 76C, Chris Thompson, gets around. Josh Vlock going to be involved, and our crack staff with Home Track Heroes has got to look at the replay. Let's see what happens coming off the second turn. You can see it starts. Thompson had kind of poked a nose underneath and chain reaction in behind. He spins out, facing the inside. So already a couple of laps in, and these drivers, even though it's a B main, they're antsy. They're trying to make the A main event for this division.
Well, you know, like I said, this is a pretty stacked B main, so a lot of these guys aren't even used to being in this position. They're like, oh, so I got a race to get into the race? They're used to being in the race already.
So just 2 laps in. Archer will be on the inside. Wharton going to battle him from the outside. As green flag once again, that's an excellent takeoff from the inside. So we'll watch Archer try to set the pace out in front of this field with Wharton and Flett right in behind him. The battle for fourth getting intense. Mueller's 2 car And next to him, hard to pick up the number from my perspective, but we'll figure it out in just a
I think
second.
it's the 15 of Jacobson.
Yep, Jacobson it is. Very unique looking race car. The burgundy, almost. Hard to tell. Burgundy gold? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's.
My eyes are
We'll go with that.
My eyes are not quite what they used to be.
The interesting thing also with this is with the Legends we've seen a lot this year, they like to cut that first corner.
Yep.
With the wall up, can't do that.
Right.
So that definitely changes how these guys are going to have to attack. Well, see, that's not great.
Oh, around in the middle of the turn that's the 9 car of Cody Graham. Graham facing the inside of the racetrack. We did not get a replay of that because we saw most of it live and in person. So our B-main cars, there's some try-hard going on, but there's also a reason they're B-main cars sometimes.
Well, and, some of these guys are regulars.
Correct.
So getting used to the racetrack again, and, that you have the guys that are used to racing, cutting that corner. So,
You've watched a lot of Legends racing over your time here, over the divisions we've had this season, Derek. These are not an easy car to drive, even for the most experienced drivers in this division.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, you have you have all-time great names that race this Legend class on a regular basis with Zaretsky, you got Holden. I mean, those are track champions, and I mean, these cars can be a handful.
Even our 4-time and defending track champion in Chad Sinner, who we hope to see a little bit later on in the program, he's won a ton of races and stuff. He just made his first podium of the year on last week's Home Track Heroes show. I mean, this division is tough. It's getting tougher. They're tough race cars to drive, and the talent level in the class is coming way up, as indicated by the names again that we're seeing here in this B feature. Now they're finally getting strung out single file a little bit more. It's allowing Archer to pull away. The race for second, though, has been a good one. Wharton has taken it back from Aaron Flett, and Flett's got Jacobson to the inside coming off of turn 2.
And then we got one of our young guns, the 37 of Mason Nelson, starting to make his way up through the field. He was pretty far back. We've seen him on the podium a couple times.
Talk about a guy who has shown out well here at Evergreen Speedway and is starting to show out well in the Northwest as well, because that team, that family, when the Legends are not on the program here at Evergreen, they travel a lot, and they're getting a lot of seat time in that race car.
The other great thing about them is they always have really cool in-car footage that we get to use on the show quite a bit.
Big thank you to the Masonator Racing crew, as it continues to be Archer, Wharton, and Jacobson 1 through 3, as we're 8 laps in, again 20 laps your distance here in this B main event.
I feel it. Oh, go ahead.
That was Mason we were just talking about. That's that white with purple car who sits in the 5th position to the inside of Aaron Flett and trying to shuffle him backwards in the line. He will successfully do it and work his way up to 4th, but a good challenge coming after him in the outside groove right now. That's the 24 car of TJ Roberts, who was the first guy to spin out and is already back into your top 5.
One thing I also notice is Nelson, I think,
full send. We got a Legend airborne into the tires.
I think that was Dakota Grachala.
Wow, Dakota, what a accident. And there it is, airborne coming off the corner, and you hope Dakota's all right. Oh, we're going to get in. All right, in car. Thump. That's scary.
Oh, my goodness.
That thing's going to need an entire new body, and wow. We've seen some Legends take impact before, but we've never seen a perspective like that.
So, I think Dakota has actually had, I think that's her 3rd wreck in turn 4 that's been pretty spectacular. She went airborne one time earlier in the year.
Yep.
And then she got sideways in turn 4 and got hit dead on.
That was nuts, seeing the air and the impact. And we know Dakota moves on to race again at some point in time. So there's the good news there.
Yep.
So back to action we go, halfway home. Take a second, comprehend what you just saw, and now these drivers have got to get back to it, as it's Archer and Wharton. They've been 1-2 for the bulk of this, and now Nelson working on Jacobson. They're battling for 3rd, and give it to Nelson off the 2nd turn.
And again, in this, the 4th spot is your transfer spot. So that's the spot that's really the action spot. Top 3 might take it a little bit easy if they're feeling pretty good about where they're at, but that 5th, 6th, they're going for it. They're trying to get into the big show.
Well,
so
there's some race strategy involved here too, and Nelson's about to show it as he's poked a nose to the inside of Wharton. Every car you pass here in the B main is one you do not have to get by in the A main, as right now he would end up taking the second transfer spot. He's got it. If he can run down Archer, that's one more guy. He'll get to the inside of that row they're starting on, and one more person he can put in his rearview mirror early on in the A main event if he's looking to march forward.
Yeah, it's nice to see Flett making having a nice run here too.
Aaron puts a lot of effort and a lot of support into the Legend division here. Fields car for himself. The Zaretsky car runs out of Aaron's shop. A couple others that work down there. So nice to see him having a decent run, but he's on the outside looking in right now. He's going to have to scramble to catch up as he's battling for fifth with Roberts, and just a handful of laps left to go.
And it's just nice to see Aaron back racing. He had kind of a gnarly wreck about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Had to kind of take some time off. I think that's kind of how Zaretsky kind of got back into Legend racing. Is he had Zaretsky drive his car for him. So it's just nice to see him out and racing again.
Aaron currently sitting in the 6th spot, trying to get underneath TJ Roberts in the blue 24 car, who right now is on the outside looking in to transfer into the A main event for the Inex Legends. Roberts behind the Burgundy 15 of Davis Jacobson, who currently holds the final transfer spot. Meanwhile, for the lead, Garrett Archer versus Mason Nelson, as they're nearly bumper to bumper coming through the back straightaway.
Yeah, Mason it's just fun. It's been fun to watch him just get better. Ooh, well, okay, we're gonna. Remember what I said about the first, first, second, and third? We're going with your philosophy. We got to get past every car, if possible.
Yep.
So.
He
no!
And that's in the final transfer. Roberts together with Jacobson. Flett ends up avoiding. Mueller takes the scenic route all the way out to the 5/8 before he turns it around. Let's see it again coming into the corner. Into the turn. Yeah, that's a racing deal. Two drivers going for one spot at the wrong time.
Hey, his trunk's open, and it's like, hey, grab the bags. We're going on vacation now. I don't think we can finish the race,
well,
but
the fair's coming up. Maybe he was just opening it up for some room for some scones, right?
Well, hey, you can never have too many scones, right?
Never have enough scones.
I think I've had too many scones at some point.
Not yet this year. 2 laps to go. Garrett Archer, Mason Nelson, they'll be 1-2. Josh Wharton gets third unencumbered, and now Aaron Flett, thanks to that wreck that just happened, has got the final transfer spot, but he's going to have to hold it off big time because there's going to be some drivers looking to take it away from him. Trying to peek to the inside and figure out who that is, as Flett now working the outside on Wharton. And I'll bet you that's the 76 Corey Boyle maybe coming up to the inside. We'll get a better look as the ticker updates here.
No, it can't be Corey.
So we'll find out as the white flag is out one more time around. Archer, Nelson, Wharton, and Flett, and they will come around, and that is how they finish, and they'll transfer to the respective A main for the Inex Legends. Well, the B main's in the books. Let's move on to A main action that's coming up next. You're tuned in to Home Track Heroes here on KSTW. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on KSTW. We are through the B main, and it's time for A main action here. First up, BECU mini stocks going around for 30 laps. This division has had some interesting things happen during the course of the year, Derek, and I bet you we're in for another interesting one here in this A main. Let's get a look at our starting lineup. It is Jaden Kelly. She is the cookie queen in the Volkswagen, driving the Tom's Automotive number 24. Next to her, Jason Engbaum, the Lewis and Maine Restaurant and Brewery of Monroe, number 27.
Next row, the 18 of Brooklyn Bender, sponsored by PRCBD, and the 12 of Gavin Ballou, sponsored by Raritan Engines.
Row number 3, it is the Brava Pizza in Snohomish, number 16, the multiple-time feature winner of Travis Woodward, also feature winner on the year next to him. The 221 is Lyndon Smith, sponsored by PRCBD.com.
And the last driver is the 72 of Ronnie Absher, sponsored by U.S. Seafood, who always puts on an exciting show.
The Abshers are fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every time we get Ronnie, when we have Jimmy out here in the field, they race hard, and they're not afraid to use every little bit of the racetrack. Awesome in-car looks. As you can see, the Speedway Chevrolet Pace vehicle pull off and into the infield. As you've got the Brandy Hood Promotions camera views from Jaden Kelly, Jason Engbaum, and Travis Woodward, plus you get everybody in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Let's go green and see how this all shakes out.
Yeah, I just love seeing these in-cars, just being able to see the cars next to you, like that Jason Engbaum shot. You can see the car out there. just see how much, just how close these guys are driving.
Yep. You can see on Engbaum, some of the things that we talk about when it comes to some driver training and coaching, he's got a lot of steering wheel input right now. See how far he's having to actually turn that steering wheel to get it in the corner. And the idea is calm hands, right? The less that your hands are moving in the cockpit is the less you're having to work and the better your car's handling. So you can see Jason kind of fighting a little bit as Kelly's led the first couple of laps, but she'll move into the middle, unfortunately, in 1 and 2 because Brooklyn Bender got her nose down underneath. And it looks like Brooklyn moving up to take the lead here in turn number 3.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, it looks like she's caught on the outside, and some really, really fast cars with Woodward and Lyndon Smith are coming on the inside.
Travis has found a nice path to the low groove, and quickly into the lead goes Woodward, 3 laps in, and bringing Smith with him. And these have been the 2 most decorated drivers in the division this year, Woodward and Smith. And as of recently, it's been Woodward, Smith, and the not in attendance Justin Brave here this afternoon. So 1-2, if you had made a bet at the Angel of the Winds, kind of would have bet on these guys to be up there.
You probably would have had to put a lot of money on them to win a little bit amount.
That's right. Blue is into third. Next run for the 12 car. I know they've been working that car over and looking for some extra speed in it. Have been tinkering with some suspension components and trying to find ways to get him some better drive off. Blue doing a good job as he has gotten around Bender and now up into third.
And Brooklyn looks like she's having a pretty good one of her better races here, running 4th here. Has a pretty good line. And Engbaum looks like he is going to try to sneak under Jaden Kelly. Oh, no.
Up in smoke goes Blue, unfortunately, as that car showing some serious steam in it off the bottom of turn number 2. And let's get a closer look as to how it went down. This is from the cockpit of Kelly, and you can see
that might be more than steam.
Yeah, that smoke that's got that tint of gray to it, or that heavier composition to it, is almost always indicative of oil.
Yeah, I think Gavin might have blew that engine.
Oh, but well,
I know. I'm here. I got dad jokes.
He's Derek Hobbs.
Yeah, that's
right.
I'll be here all night. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Well, let's go back to it. Unfortunately for Blue, that's going to end his race. We've got 24 laps to go, and for Travis Woodward, this is bad news because it gave Lyndon Smith free track position. It's one of the things the caution flags do. Lyndon was, you look at the length of these cars, 7-8 feet from being side by side with Travis, and now those guys even Steven coming off the corner of your green.
Well, that was a great start by Travis there, though. I feel like, you know what, I was just going to say that I felt like Lyndon Smith early in the year really had that high line going for him, and I feel like he hasn't been able to use that as much lately. He obviously used it really good right there, though, to go past Woodward.
The question being is that he had been racing up in that groove early in the year, and not just racing but passing in it. Right now he's using it to pass, but he went right back down to the inside. So he may still be more comfortable in the low groove as he looks to establish a lead. And we're watching Engbaum and Kelly having a really great race back there in position 4 right now.
Yeah, it looks like we're kind of might need a little camera work there, but this is the race. I mean, the two of them they might run and hide from everybody else because they've definitely been the best of this class the entire year.
Quite the advantage that Smith and Woodward have over Bender, and Bender running a team car to Lyndon Smith, so they're sharing information, sharing notes, and trying to help the 18 get right up to that same speed that the 221 is running at is this time by. 10 laps in, 20 to go. Let you guys know your Home Track Heroes in this episode is brought to you by Bardall Manufacturing, located in Seattle. World leader in automotive lubricants with oils, additives, and lubricants for your car, truck, boat, or motorized toy. Pick the brand racers around the world rely on. Bardall, celebrating over 82 years in business and operating in 90 countries. Make Bardall your brand.
Now, I know both these guys on the podium have been really complimentary of each other, so you'll be really interested to see, how hard Travis pushes. Is he going to kind of wait until a really, really good moment to go for it, or is he going to try to put some pressure on him? Because there's not going to be a lot of lap traffic, obviously, that they got to work through. Mm-hmm. So it's probably going to have to be a little bit of an aggressive move, probably to try to take the lead here. It's
a relatively warm afternoon, but it's not blistering hot like it was at other times during the week here at this race. So right now, probably the zenith of temperature for the day here on Home Track Heroes for this race. This is about as hot as the racetrack is going to be. It'll cool off from here. Right now, Smith doing a very good job, and he's got 16 laps to go. Woodward has kept him right there at about that 2-car length differential. You can see both of them taking a line that takes them right by the speedy dry in turns 1 and 2, and more than a time or two, and especially to Lyndon Smith, we've seen drivers get their tires in the wrong portions of the speedy dry and wipe out.
Yeah, we're not even seeing the other cars in the shots right now. So I mean, it's we're what was it 10 laps from the caution? So
yep.
Yeah, it's they're just checking out.
If you do the timing in your head, right? Lyndon crosses, Travis crosses, and they're running very well-paced laps, but they've got 6, 7, 8 seconds between them and the back of the field as there's a look at everybody. Absher's 72, trying to chase down the 24 of Kelly, who's kept Engbomb's 27 close. Also a couple of car length differential battle between them as we're 17 laps in. And now finally kind of getting an eye. There's Bender's third place car just crossing, and you can't even catch first and second place in the nub of your screen coming through. It's probably about a half-track differential between, I'd say, first and fourth at the moment.
Yeah,
Ish.
it is interesting to watch Jaden Kelly. She runs that midline pretty good. I think she kind of got comfortable with that here a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And she's actually run some of her best laps of the year here in the last few weeks. So, I think she's starting to really kind of figure that out. And well, maybe Travis is saying, okay, this is the time where I'm gonna put a little pressure on you.
Yeah. Speaking of drivers getting comfortable, Woodward has picked up the pace. He has closed on Lyndon Smith, and Smith now is up to the back of the field as he's going to get an eyeball here on Absher by the time he exits turn number 2. So Woodward has narrowed on Smith as we're down to 10 to go. It'll be single digits the next time by. Lyndon Smith, the 221, Travis Woodward in the 16, and coming up on the slower traffic of Ronnie Absher, 72. To the inside goes Lyndon, and he picks his spot quite well. He will get by Absher, make the pass, and put him a lap down.
So it might be Travis might be looking at this next little group of cars because there's multiple cars. If you choose, if Lyndon decides to, I'm just going to go on the outside, to make the easy pass, maybe that's not the right one, and he can dive down underneath.
Interesting that you just mentioned Kelly runs more in the middle in the
there
Volkswagen,
it is right there.
Right?
Yep.
So Lyndon shouldn't have to alter his line at all to get by Jaden. It's not until he's going to get up into Engbaum and Bender that he might have to make a little, pivot in terms of what he's thinking.
Right.
He'll go side by side with Jaden right now. Meanwhile, Engbaum caught Bender. Good job, Jason, at the back of the field. So he is working his way to try to get up into third. And here comes decision time for the 221 of Smith. He's going to cut hard into the corner and into the back of Engbaum and catches Kelly on the way around the turn. That is bad for everybody. And let's get a second look at how it all happened. Into the corner we go. Yeah, right into the left rear corner panel. Here's Woodward following.
I don't know. Does Engbaum start to lose the back end just a little bit, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to tell.
It's...
and that's not good.
Could not have anticipated any other way to do it. So here's Jason's side, and you can see... Wow, a goodbye GoPro. Yeah. As he was starting to counter steer, almost lined up exactly with the point in time that you anticipated the contact happening. So really hard to say, what came first, the chicken or the egg there.
Yeah.
But what we know, cars made contact. They go around, and it looks like Smith is going to restart in our lead position.
Okay. So, well, you know what? I think there's only 3 cars out there.
I think you're right. It's a 3-car dash for cash here at the end of this BECU Mini Stock Main.
What is the least amount of cars you've ever had?
2.
2?
2.
So did the guy have his car on the hook and pulled up to the front stretch to get third place, or?
Well, not all racetracks do the entire top 3 for every main event. Some of them have only done traditional winners, so that is the thing that's happened. But yep, I have finished races with 2 cars, and there goes Travis Woodward saying, I want to be the best of these 3, as he gets around Linden on the restart and back into the top spot.
And he was on the outside, so that was both the last two restarts. The outside is actually was the preferred lane for these guys.
So the thing you wonder about as far as like Smith goes, and you're going to wonder about the left front of that race car because that's where the impact happened between him and Engbaum. If that didn't knock something just far enough out of alignment, here with the mini stocks, we're dealing in guys that are working within eighths and sixteenths of an inch of measurement. You knock that toe out or that toe in on that left front, an extra eighth of an inch by bending apart a little bit, it'll make a pretty drastic a change in the way that this race car handles. So you wonder if that's playing any kind of factor in it. You wonder if Woodward was just saving a little bit more for the end to come after Linden with, because right now he's got the lead and he's stretching it.
Yeah, I mean, so whenever Travis has really had the lead, I can't really think of a time when he gave up a lead on track, not on a restart.
He is a very good front runner. When he gets out to that point, he knows the pace he wants to set, and he's very good at hitting his marks when he's got clean track in front of him. He knows where he wants to corner, he knows where he wants to lift, he knows where he wants to pick throttle up. Any application of the brake that he puts in, as you can see, Woodward with 2 to go.
I mean, he is glued to that bottom when he's going through the corners.
Yeah, he's, we would say that he's apexing extremely well. Finds the right spot to pick back up on the throttle so that he doesn't wash too wide coming off and give Linden a chance to duck underneath him at the corner entry. One more time around on the 3/8 mile, and Travis Woodward having a very successful 2023. Is going to add another one to the trophy case here this afternoon. Smith makes one more big run, but Travis Woodward gets the win. Lyndon Smith second, and Brooklyn Bender will take third. Let's go talk to him on the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Well, Brooklyn, you did really well in that one, running up front and being able to stay out of trouble there in that big incident. What's secret to this number 18 car? You seem to have figured it out and take home the podium tonight.
I'd have to thank my dad because he does most of the work on the car, made a lot of changes this week, and I think that's what got us up here.
You've had a pretty good season here, looking to hop over Justin Brave, I believe, with this result. You'll move up into third place in points. How's that feel with 2 to go in the season?
It feels really good, especially getting a championship last year. Coming into a new class with a new car, taking a third place would be awesome.
Who would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
Big thanks to the Jack Stillwell family, JBR, Joe's Racing Products, Stride Line Socks. What? Wagley Creek, 2.5 Men Barbecue, and that's all I can remember for right now.
Driver the number 18, Brooklyn Bender, third place tonight. All right, Lyndon, it came down to that final restart. What more do you think you needed in order to come away with it?
I honestly don't know. It was really close. He kind of ran away. I started to pull him back in, but Travis has a great car, and he's a great driver. So as far as keeping up with him, it's a little hard.
Now you head into these final 2 races of the season sitting first in points. You confident you can hold on to that?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
I got to thank PR CBD, Bosworth Trucking and Grading, Central Welding, Brandon Built, Kitchen and Bath, my mom, my dad, the fans, and everybody who's helped me get to this point.
Driver the number 221, second place tonight, Lyndon Smith. Travis, you're becoming an increasingly dominant force in this division. We talked at the start of the year about how nice it was to finally take home a win. Now you've got, I believe, 4 on the season so far. How is that feeling?
Yeah, this is 3 in a row. We planned on 3 in a row. We got it. Racing with Lyndon's fun.
You've had a great car all season long. You'll go into these final 2 second in points. Are you confident you'll be able to try and contend for that first place spot?
If we keep ending up next to each other, no. He's got too much on me right now from some mechanical issues we had in the middle of the year. But, you know, if I'm going to lose, I want to lose to him.
Who would you like to thank for this amazing number 16 machine?
We got Brava Pizza, Arbina Fabrication, Moonshine Barbecue, JR44 Motorsports, Elevate Racing Media, Caliber Collision, FX Pro, Auto Salon, Simon & Son Towing, and I got to thank Mike Marthaler. He's the one that makes this car go fast.
Driver of the number 16, Travis Woodward, your race winner for the BECU Mini Stocks.
Welcome back to Home Track Heroes. So glad you've tuned in with us here on Sunday night. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Derek Hobbs, and we are ready. It's Inex Legends A main event time here on Home Track Heroes. 23 cars, 30 laps coming your way. Your starting lineup looks like this. It's Travis Blivens who's drawing the pole in car number 99. Next to him, it's going to be Aaron Flett. Car number 98 is sponsored by Kent Collision Center.
In the second row, the number 11 of Rick McNeil, sponsored by Optimus Construction, and the 66 of Gabe Sessler, sponsored by Mazda of Everett.
Third row, the Mr. Dizzy Motorsports number 1 of Marissa Salwin. Next to Marissa, Kaylee Decker. Car number 68, sponsored by Joe's Tree and Timber LLC.
Next row, we have the 37 of Mason Nelson, sponsored by TriMed, and the 51Z of John Zaretsky, sponsored by McMullen Construction.
The fifth row is the Mazda of Everett, number 11C of Chad Center. He'll start 9th. 10th will be Dylan Wolf, the 43, sponsored by Easy Street Auto Repair.
The 30B of Braden Wager makes up the inside row, or the inside car of the next row, sponsored by Dirt Cheap Sewer, and the 33 of Kyle Lang, sponsored by Phillips Law Firm.
Row behind them, 13th starter is Joe Decker in the 86. 14th starter, the 40 of Samantha Schwartz, sponsored by Sharps Transportation.
Next row, we got the 2M of Jeff Mueller and the 10 of Chris Thompson, sponsored by Weatherright Roofing.
Josh Vlock drives the 76C. He's tucked in the inside of the next row. Next to him, Josh Wharton's car number 59.
And then we have the 13 of Jeremiah Johnson and the 27D of Dakota Gachala, sponsored by Weatherright Roofing.
Final three starters, Davis Jacobson, the 15D, sponsored by Evergreen Concrete Cutting, 65 Nathan Adams, and the 4R of Gabriel Guevara, sponsored by Frost Towing. So, stacked field, 23 deep, 30 times around in the ultra-competitive Inex Legends division. Some awesome in-car shots. You got 4 different ones to choose from here off the very start, as it is Blivens and Flett leading them down. You got Flett on the outside of row number 1, and you can watch from the inside with him and Travis as they're squeezing each other down the back straightaway and playing some games with the throttle.
Yeah, you got a great view of that one from Gabe Sessler's car. And we are off and green.
They got to the line calmly. It looks like Blivens got a good start on the inside. He'll have the advantage, hugging the wall, down into turn number 1 with Flett on the outside. Aaron got a car low, going to have to back out of it as there goes McNeil into position number 2. Flett battling back on the outside, trying to hold it as everybody else just looking for opportunity to come through. And just like that, well, I believe we are yellow already, as heard it come down the radio first.
Nope, there it is.
Samantha Schwartz is pointing up racetrack in turn number 2. So Schwartz in the 40 sees the field go by her, and the Home Track Heroes crew has got the replay all loaded up. Let's take a look and see what happened to Samantha. Back of the field, spread out wide in and around.
She's about mid-pack.
If I can see her,
Yep.
and right behind her was Chris
Thompson,
10.
yeah.
So
I think they might have touched each other.
you're saying that they're not going to be exchanging Christmas cards
They
anymore.
still might. It's they just.
We tried
It
to-
might be not like long hand. It might just be like Merry Christmas.
There you go. All right, back to her. We're going to get a bunch of viewpoints now of Mason Nelson. Holy GoPros. He's got a lot of them on. I do like the product placement in the upper right-hand corner of that. That works out well for me. So Nelson has got all the 3 in-car shots, one off the back, one off the nose, one of him in the cockpit, and the rest of the field side by side up in front of him. Let's see what happens here on this next try to get this race up and underway.
I don't. Maybe because we don't see it as often, but I love the reverse view. That's my favorite one to watch.
It's definitely something, as he's going to have Chad Sinner coming right up on the back of him. The speed sensation when you get all of these different shots lined up and in sync is really something. So it is Blivens once again getting out to the early lead. Flett has ducked into second already, and Sessler is going to be the one, the hottest legend driver in the Northwest here over the past month. It's been Gabe Sessler. And Sessler into third. Now coming to the inside as Flett had gotten inside at Blivens. Flett holds the lead for now, but wiggles a little bit, catches up to it. That allows Blivens to get away, and now Sessler's into second, making a bid for the lead in turn 1.
Yeah, I think Aaron is well, we got one around.
That was McNeil, who just snaps around in the middle of the corner.
Oh, do we keep going?
We do. Clean and green is the term, as they'll work down the front straightaway, and Sessler's got the lead now from Blivens and Sayonara. This could be long over as fast as Sessler has been.
I don't know. It looked like Flett. I think Flett might be having some handling issues. That happened right in front of McNeil, and then saw him in turn 4. He was still fighting it. So I think that might have been what caused that. But I'm not going to say, but it seems as though Sessler decided to start winning everything when he got a new spotter. I'm not going to name names of who that spotter was. And so I don't want to take credit away from him, but it seems like those two have gone hand in hand.
It seems like something is going very well, although Sessler's a really talented kid.
I'm not saying he's not.
The wins were coming. Might have just been a matter of once you got the first one, the floodgate opened, and here comes the rest. As right now for second, Nelson to the inside of Blivens. Blivens, you saw him earlier in the year in a street stock. He got the legend back out and trying to hang on to second. Got a lot of challenge to the inside as there goes Nelson. There goes Sinner, the defending Trek champion and 4-time champion, is up into third.
And this is nice to see Chad, being up front early. I feel like most of the year he's been buried in the middle of the pack, and it just takes him so long to get to the front. Oh my!
Hard into the wall. You just gave him your first commentator's curse as he blows the right front tire off it down the front straightaway. So Sinner, want to see how that went down. It almost looks like he got a little bit loose in and behind Blivens. Watch it into the corner, and you can see the slowing Sinner. So there's the look at it. In and
he kind of goes abruptly to the right, it looked like. Like, I wonder if something broke.
A piece of suspension snaps on the car. Let's take a look. Yeah, you're right. That was weird. So Sinner into the wall. One more look at it here from our turn 1 cam, and bye-bye right front tire, as it's going to finish a long ways, and there's going to be some...
That looks expensive.
Yeah, body and suspension
back
repair.
wheel.
There it is. Chad Sinner smashing into the front straightaway wall, and that ends what was a fantastic run for him.
Yeah.
As we'll...
That's a bummer.
Well, that's also going to bring the entire field back to him. So Sessler, who was trying to get out and rabbit away from everybody, now everybody right up on him, side by side for a stacked up restart here in the Inex Legends A main event. As you're going to see, it's Travis Blivens right to the outside, and boy, is that Braden Wager already making some big progress. That young man started 11th and is already up to 3rd.
Yeah, and we got Mercer Solwin next to him, and Zaretsky, and then Wolf. Wolf has been, that's another one that he's really come on here lately.
Man, Dylan Wolf's had some really good showings as we're back to green, and here comes Solwin looking high to the outside as they are 3 wide with Zaretsky and Blivens. And Solwin going to come forward. She'll take the spot. Marissa, daughter of Shane Solwin, who's been around Evergreen Speedway and a lot of fast race cars over the course of his career. Marissa getting some confidence here. Zaretsky to the inside, going to take 3rd away from Solwin. Marissa will tuck into 4th with Wolf now in the 5th spot.
You got Lang hanging way. Oh, well, he had a good run going on the outside, but now we got another one around.
That's Guevara, the former Hornet racer in the 4R, who's on the back straightaway into the, hopefully reviving soon grass. As let's get a look at the replay from Aaron Flett's perspective.
Yeah, well, sometimes you just spin.
Weird.
It happens.
Weird, and you look at the way that it happened, you don't see a spin in the middle of the straightaway all that often. It's almost like went to pick up on the throttle and something didn't hook up the way it was supposed to. Snaps the car around, and, that puts us in side by side once again for a restart.
So one thing that I was noticing is Lang was picking off cars on that outside groove. He was really high until he hung some tires on that back stretch and cut the speed. So he's on the inside now. That's the 33, the black car, and about the 6th row.
Looks like it. Inside row number 6. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on Kyle Lang, who has been so close to a track title here at Evergreen Speedway in the Inex Legends. Bidding for one this year. as we've got a whole lot of laps left. Green flag back out for Gabe Sessler with Braden Wager now on his outside, and Marissa Solwin's got third, at least here on the jump. Solwin to the inside of Wager, Zaretsky to the inside of Solwin, and Zaretsky to muscle his way up into third. Marissa back after him, trying to take the spot. It is Sessler back to the lead. Wager and Zaretsky currently your top three.
Yeah, you know, we'll go back to saying Sessler has a little bit of talent. It's pretty obvious. He's another one, kind of talking about with Woodward. When he gets out front, man, he
takes off.
He can check out.
Yep. He's got a brand new fresh driver suit too. Wait till you see this thing. If he ends up making victory lane tonight, he's got some fresh threads, looking pretty good.
Look good, drive good.
That's right. Look good, feel good, drive good.
All right. So Wolf looking to the inside of Marissa Son here, diving down low. Can't quite make it work, but I think that turn 4 got him around, and he will move up into 4th.
And the path is open for Wolf. He'll slide forward in the turn and on the outside looking in of a podium run, but Dylan Wolf continues to show his quality in his legend, as now got a chance to try to run down John Zaretsky, who's in the 3rd spot. 17 laps to go, and Zaretsky's closing on Wager. That battle will be for 2nd if John can make up 3 car lengths down the back straightaway here.
That is one of the nice, the fun things about this class too, is just you have the legend in John Zaretsky and just surrounded by kids. They're just like Wager's what, 15?
13.
13?
Maybe.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
He's still a very young.
Really young.
Young man, but accomplished young man. He was an absolute stud in quarter midgets. His dad, Paul, was the quarter midget trainer for WQMA for a very long time, so he got a really good education. Spent a year on the dirt up at Deming Speedway, won the Clay Cup in the junior sprints there, and has shown his quality already in the Legends here.
Oh, definitely. I mean, these young drivers, it's amazing how good they are.
And you look at that, right? Wager coming up and doing what he's doing right now, compared to a John Zaretsky, who's been an incredible driver here over the years, and the fact that the Zaretsky name has been around here at Evergreen Speedway for many, many years, not only between John, but between Carl as well.
And Wolf is looking to put a move here on Zaretsky. And again, so Zaretsky's one that really likes to go low in turn 1. Ooh, we really went wide on that one. That was kind of a little mistake by John maybe there.
Yeah, you were just about to start talking about it. So with everybody pitted in the inside today, that barrier on the inside prevents a guy like Zaretsky from cutting that corner, which is his typical race line here. And Dylan Wolf now to the inside, forcing John into something that might be a little more uncomfortable than what he's used to.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he's kind of changed that, or just going that wide arc, trying to make that work for him. Because I think you're right. His preferred line is not there, so just trying to find out what works for him, and I don't know if it's working right now.
Well, you get a look at it. He still is hugging that inside a lot closer than some of the other drivers are doing, but you can't get quite as far down to where you want to be, and I'm assuming he's also changed a little bit of his setup to accommodate for the fact that he knows he can't get as low at corner entrance in turn 1. Caution flag out again.
Looks like Schwartz possibly again.
That's what we're hearing over the headset here as our cameras go hunting for Samantha and try to figure out.
There she is.
Oh, yeah, pointing the wrong way off the bottom of turn number 3. So Schwartz is spun in 2, spun in 3. Hopefully she doesn't collect turn 1 and turn 4 and make it the golden sombrero of spinouts here.
Hiding behind the giant Napa balloon.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
It's the Napa 150 here on Home Track Heroes. And again, glad to have you in here with us. We're watching the Inex Legends A main event. And over halfway, 19 in, 11 to go. Gabe Sessler has dominated it. Braden Wager looking to change that narrative.
The 33 of Lang has moved up about 3 rows now sitting in that 7th spot. So that's another car to keep your eye on there. Always a tough competitor.
Back to green flag action. Wolf inside of Wager for 2nd. Good looking run from Dylan Wolf here on the restart. Wager trying to keep his foot in the throttle pedal as long as he can. Got down through the corner, but couldn't close it all the way off. And now Wolf's going to have another bid at him going into 1. Shuffle Dylan Wolf up into 2nd place.
Now, yeah, Zaretsky kind of hung out on the outside. Lang going to shoot to the inside and see if he can get under. Well, we're going to try to maybe go 3 wide. but that didn't work.
Samhain didn't get all the way down in the turn, and that offered the bottom up for Kyle. This time she does a better job getting low here in the first corner. Can she keep him off? She can. Samhain holds position 4. As right now we're coming into 8 laps to go, and you are watching Kyle Lang pursue Marissa Samhain for 4th. Down low goes Kyle, shoots forward, and now he's knocking on the door of a podium finish. The podium is the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium. This segment brought to you by Angel of the Winds Casino Resort. With sports betting now on the docket, think you can pick a winner, prove it at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort.
No. Oh, no.
Oh, it's the only home for sports betting north of Seattle, exit 210 off I-5 in Arlington. And unfortunately, if you had a bet on the one car, you might not be making anything back, as there's cars everywhere, and Flett caught a huge portion of the right rear on the way through as well.
Zaretsky hits the front stretch really hard. He almost goes straight.
Oh, wow.
That's not good.
And Thompson right in behind with him got a decent little collision. So let's get the viewpoint from Aaron.
I just know where to go.
Absolutely. Could have locked him up and still not had a chance. All right, so here's Zaretsky.
This might not.
Into the corner, Marissa around, and he just, wow.
Oh, outside, wow.
And the GoPro goes tumbling down to the ground, so we've got...
that was a hard hit. We don't like that.
Race car parts everywhere, unfortunately.
Yeah, that head-on into the wall is not where you want to be.
No, the good news is that drivers walked away, and we will continue racing here with just a few laps to go, and the mid-pack is where that happened, and the mid-pack's going to look drastically different, but your front 4, about the same as it was. Sessler's 66, Wolf's 43, Wager's 30, and Lang's 33.
Lang has definitely enjoyed the benefit of the cautions. Every time we get a caution, he moves up a couple rows, it seems.
Well, you know the adage, right? To finish first you must finish.
That's true. We learned that in the mini stocks.
Yes, we did. So we'll go back to green with 8 to go. And Sessler brings us back to life. See if he can escape Dylan Wolf, who was on his outside. Wolf with Wager underneath, looking to retake second position from him. Those two swapped that spot in the last restart. Now Wager, with the benefit of the inside lane on the restart, trying to string Wolf out there and make him work to get back down to close the door. He got close, but he twitched getting into the turn, and that's going to cost him.
We haven't talked much about Mason Nelson, but he has moved up into looks like 5th. I thought he was going to dive under Wolf for 4th right there, but he's steadily made his way through the pack.
Jeff Mueller, your 6th place car, as now for 2nd, Lang right on the back of Wager, almost right on the back bumper coming out of turn number 2. All this racing allowing Sessler to kind of pad that lead and add some comfort to the 66 car.
It's like I said, he might be done the best when he's out front.
Yes.
Of anybody of the legends, I feel like these cars are pretty equal. That's the whole idea behind this. And he just, when he is out front, he just hits his marks and just dominates.
It's been a while since we talked about the Legend Racing program. We talk a little bit about the cars and how hard they are to drive, but you buy the entire car complete all the way down to the motor. Basically, it's bolt your safety gear in and go, direct from Inex. So that is how these cars work. They are designed to be a cost-controlled class that nobody has a technological advantage over anybody. They all have the same parts in them, other than a couple of little differences here or there, but motor packages and power are the same. Cars and layout are the same. It is come in, throw your safety gear in, and may the best man win.
And that's why you see a lot of guys and gals show up from out of town, Las Vegas or, Canada, Arizona. We've had people from Alaska, and they bring the car that they race at their track, and they show up and they can race it here.
Right. Uniform rule package across all Legend divisions across the country. As there's the white flag for Gabe Sessler. One more time around for him. As Gabe back straight away, looking to bring one home for the Piolis once again, Matt and Ginger. Got Joe Constance as the head wrench on that car, and he'll get the job done. Checkered flag. Gabe Sessler, another feature win. His 2nd here at Evergreen Speedway, at least 2 now. As there's the checkered flag flying out everywhere. Give 2nd to Wager, give 3rd to Lang. And let's go down trackside. The Angel of the Winds Casino Resort Podium, Derek Todoroff with our winners' interviews.
Kyle, this is your first race back after that huge incident at War of the Wings. How's it feel to come back from that and come home third tonight?
Yeah, it certainly feels good. I was just hoping for a podium tonight.
You drove that number 33 through the field, made a lot of good moves to come home in this third place spot. How do you navigate the traffic on a Legend track?
I got hung up on the start, but I just tried to be patient and slowly work my way up there, and then they all crashed, so.
Who would you like to thank for this third place run?
Phillips Law Firm, Third Gen Race Cars, Premier Painting Company, Tacoma Auto Glass, my mom and dad, and Michael Fritz.
Driver of the number 33, third place tonight, Kyle Lang. Braden, you had a good car all race long, made your way up into the top three and never let it get away. Battled it out with drivers like Dylan Wolf, John Zareski, Chad Sinner. How's it feel to fend off drivers like that and come home second?
It was crazy. I did not expect my car to be that fast out of the gate, but it tightened up a little bit more and more throughout the race, and it slowed down, but I'm pretty happy to hang on to second.
The other drivers occupying this podium with you tonight are also the drivers you're racing with here for the points championship eventually. You sit third right now. How confident are you going into the final race you can pull away with this one?
I'm feeling pretty good. I got myself close enough to where hopefully in the last race I can try to go for it.
Who would you like to thank for your performance?
Francisca and Colin King, Dirt Cheap Sewers, Pacific Street Rods, Purcell, Central Welding Supply, Brandy Hood, Elevate Race Media, Turn 1 Media, my mom, my dad.
Driver the number 30B, Braden Wager. All right, Gabe, 3 races in a row now. You've come home right there here on the podium, top 2. You also had that great run at State Line. What is it like to come home first there and then transferring the car back to this 3/8 oval?
It's good momentum. We didn't really change a whole lot from State Line to here, but the car's fast everywhere it goes, it seems like, so it's a pretty sweet setup.
You've come into your own with this number 66 machine. Last time I asked you this question, you weren't aware of it. Now you came into tonight, you will leave tonight as the points leader. How confident are you?
I don't know. Honestly, we're not super huge into points. We just want to get on the podium, win some races, hopefully, and if everything works out, great.
Who helps put this car together?
I got to thank Mazda of Everett, Matt Pioli, Angela Pioli, Ginger, the Constance family, Joe's Racing Products, Mazda of Everett, of course. They're the ones who put me in the car. Of course, Joe. Yeah, a lot of people to thank. I just don't have a super good memory.
Driver the number 66, Gabe Zessler, your race winner tonight.
It's been a fantastic episode of Home Track Heroes here on KSTW. So happy that you guys are taking the trip with us. We've got a Tire Pros Street Stock main event coming up next. He's Derek Hobbs. I'm Caleb Hart. This class has been full of fun, and I'm saying that nicely because there's been fun, there's been fireworks, there's been all kinds of other associated 4-letter F words that have been thrown out and around it. It's just been an adventure every time they've hit the track. Let's give you your starting lineup for this 30-lap A main event. Chevy Vincent's on the pole, the 43 car sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment. Next to him, it is car number 7, Mike Shimmick.
And then next row we have the 22 of the recent race winner, Kenny Erickson, sponsored by AFC Forestry. And the 85 of Jim Fody, sponsored by Trademark RCS.
There you go.
I can say that.
Perfect. Row 3, Austin Camp, the Ad Taxi, number 69, Blaine Fagerly, the 03. Stingray Auto Repair of Redmond sponsors his car.
The 51 of Jeff Watson, sponsored by SCE, Snohomish County Trucking and Excavating. And the 44 of Mike Marthaler, sponsored by Direct Carpet Cleaning and house cleaning.
The 5th row, that is Jeff's brother Gene, car number 28, sponsored by SCE, Snohomish County Trucking and Excavating. Steve Potasic, the 06, sponsored by Lang Auto Sports, starts in the 10th spot.
The 41 of Mark Hubbard, sponsored by Interstate Batteries, and the 3 of Jesse Jensen, sponsored by Tire Pros.
And then Billy Decker, 17. Next to him, Chase Jones, driving car number 14. That's the second Hubbard entry on the evening.
The 27X of Jerry Helm, and the 04 of Leilani Wilson.
And then Cameron Iverson is in the the Jim Heller Racing number 10. So there are 17 cars out here for 30 laps in a division that has always been interesting. It's probably the most talked about division on social media during the week if you follow the street stock stuff. Is these drivers, they're fiercely competitive, and to be frank, some of them just straight up don't like each other. So it always makes for interesting racing.
Yeah, but man, their races are so much fun to watch. The cars looks great. I mean, there's just so many great looking cars, and
complete all the way down to the throwback designs like Watson's got on the 28, looking like Davy's car.
The interstate batteries.
Yep, the always good looking 3 car.
Of
Always.
course, yeah. Yes.
Of which has always kind of had that Dale Earnhardt-ish 3 on it. Am I right?
Well.
Told you. Fireworks.
Well.
Chevy Vincent gets up and airborne with Mike Shimmick here on the start. And Chevy is just limping the car down the back straightaway to a stop. Let's take a look from Mike Marthaler's point of view.
Oh, yeah, you can see him on the top left corner there.
Oh, boy. From Jeff Watson's vantage point.
Oh, boy.
Sir, you can't park there. You cannot park your car there. That's a problem. So from the front straightaway view, and you can see Shimmick was getting a whole lot of rear bumper from Fody coming down the front straightaway.
Yeah, and I think, well, and then, go ahead.
It's hard to say how much that affected that corner entrance from either the 7 or the 43, and could also be a deal where you had that inside wall that was up that affected Chevy's entrance into the turn himself.
Yeah, I kind of felt like Chevy maybe just didn't kind of go, and then all of a sudden did, and, you know, then that spot opens up, so it's like, okay, let's go.
Right.
And, you know.
Well, Shimmick's going to stay on the outside of the front row. That's going to shuffle everybody on the inside up behind him. So Kenny Erickson from the inside of row number 2 is now your pole sitter next to Mike Shimmick. Caution lights turn out on the Speedway Chevrolet pace car. Beautiful looking machine. He'll pull off into the right. And our second try with 4 different boxes for me to watch from.
I'm going to watch from Gene because that looks fun.
I can't decide. We're going to go green. And Erickson's got a little bit of a nose ahead going into turn number 1. The old-style Camaro-looking body on Erickson. He will pull ahead. He brings Fody with him in the second spot. Shimmick trying to hold on in third and trying to tuck downstairs if he can. Couldn't quite do it off the corner. That's going to allow Camp by him, who's already got a heck of a tire smiley down the right-hand side of the 69. So lap number 1, Erickson, Fody, and Camp 1 through 3 early here.
Yeah, that might have been from the last race. I think there was a lot of a lot of tire banging in that race.
These cars never bang tires. What are you talking about?
I think he finished the race on the podium with a flat tire. I think.
Sometimes you got to do that. Fody pursuing Erickson out in front. Camp in third. And one of the 2 Watsons, the 51 of Jeff Watson in fourth. Take a look back in fifth. I thought I saw Jesse Jensen already trying to use the outside groove to get there, but he has fallen back to sixth as it's Gene Watson in the 5th spot. It's still very early, though, only 3 laps into this.
So Erickson and Fody, 2 of the more, I would say, popular podium wins of the year so far.
For sure. Strike one for the guys who hadn't been in victory lane in a very long time, right?
Or ever.
Or ever in a long Evergreen Speedway career on both of them.
Yeah. No, those are. I'm dubbing this year the year of feel-good podiums at Evergreen Speedway. There's been a ton of really great podiums.
Erickson's car's a little loose off the corner, and that's part of what's given Fody the chance to run in on him as hard as he has here. Fody right there. He is taking the car half a groove wider going into turn number 3. Brings it back down through the bottom of turn number 4, and you can see the back end of the Erickson car just slip sliding a little bit. That doesn't bode well for him as they come into the turn.
And something that we don't see a lot here, we're lap 24, and we're already seeing lap traffic with some of those newer cars that we haven't seen out here in a while. It'll be interesting to see how they navigate drivers that they're not used to racing with.
Erickson going to quickly go down low. He takes a very narrow entrance into the corner as they look to lap Jerry Helm here. They've already put the 14.
Little bumper by Fody there.
Yeah, they've already put the 14 of Jones down a lap. Freight train's on the inside, though, and it is looking good. Now Erickson pushes just a hair wide off the turn. Can Jim get the nose underneath? He cannot. Erickson will hold the top spot 8 laps into this.
I feel like Erickson can. 1 and 2 is good for Erickson. 3 and 4 has been a little bit of a. He washes out a little bit. So is that where Fode's going to make his move?
Yeah, he's going to try it once again, and you can see he's got that nose, but they're coming up on slower traffic again. Fode to the inside. Erickson has to lift as they put the lap on the lapper, and Jim Fode going to get away out in front by about 2 car lengths. So Fode takes the lead 9 laps in here.
Looks like Erickson was did a better job of getting to the bottom there, but he's just his back end's washing out there in turn 4. So I think it's going to be a tall task to hold off Camp and the Watson brothers coming up next.
Oh, Fode trying to stretch the lead, putting his tires to full use. And here at Evergreen Speedway, Tire Pros, the official tire dealer of Evergreen Speedway. Tire Pros, your one-stop tire retailer, where honesty is the best policy, and they have a hassle-free guarantee. Tire Pros has all the national brands and offers a nationwide warranty on your tires. Go to TirePros.com.
So Fode keeps inching out there. I'm sure he loves Erickson keeping everybody held back there because you got fast guys coming up. You got Hubbard back there. Jesse's, I think, a little bit behind Hubbard, maybe. So, no, well.
I'm taking a peek
Here
at
he
it.
is. Yep.
So here comes Hubbard, and this is right out of the Hubbard playbook, starting to circle up and around the outside and trying to find some room to race where nobody else is. However, Watsons are hard guys to pass. As Gene on the inside in the 28, gonna try to make things difficult on Mark Hubbard.
Yeah, we haven't seen a Hubbard on the outside in the street stocks ever the entire year, right? I mean, that's something we haven't seen.
Hubbard passing the outside? What? Well, that is almost Mark Hubbard's patented territory at this point in time. Camp using the nose a bit on Erickson, leaning on him through the corner and trying to take position number 2 away as they sneak underneath Billy Decker. And Erickson, might have got back to the throttle a little early, but Camp cannot capitalize yet.
Yeah, you just see it. Erickson can just 1 and 2 for Erickson is perfect. 3 and 4 less than.
Right. Jensen just picked up a spot on Hubbard there as they came in to get by Decker, so moved Jensen to 6th. And Jensen's actually is the next guy to swing up and around the outside as he's working on Gene Watson for that spot. Best battle on the tracks for second. It's between Kenny Erickson and Austin Camp. Over halfway, your race leader not even in the screen right now. There he is coming back. It's Jim Fode in the 85. Fode, Erickson, and Camp, your top 3. Jensen has made it his way around Watson Part 1 and is now diving to the inside of Watson Part 2.
That was a great move. Coming from the outside, diving in between the 2 cars, split the Watsons, and ended up in fourth.
So now that Jensen's made his way there, he's really going to have to step on it because he's got some ground to make up before he can even start trying to pass your second and third place cars who are also in traffic still. So again, some newcomer drivers not making the same kind of speed laps. And Jesse Jensen is wicked quick right now. Look at the amount of gap he has already made up between second and third place in him.
So I wonder, though, if he's watching this, he knows Erickson's staying low. I wonder if he's just going to say, I'm going to the outside and just try to take him from the outside here.
Well, you can see it here. And, he's got a spotter in his ear telling him where everybody else has run and consistently been there. So Jesse swings wide going into turn number 1. There's Camp, and Camp doing everything he can, but the 3 car is potent. We know this. It is your track record holder, if I remember correctly. As he comes off the top at turn number 4, he'll take 3rd, and now coming up on Erickson. How does he choose to go after Kenny Erickson, last week's feature winner? Jensen outside to the rear quarter panel, backs off a little bit, sets the car into 3, and now powers off a 4. He's going to arc it inside. Touching panels into the turn. Erickson still has him. Jensen's still there making him work for it.
I think that is slamming the door shut there.
At least. Jensen backed out of it. Now he'll try the outside once again. Thinks about it up at the top of the turn. He's going to follow him into 1. half a car length back, just eyeballing the back bumper of Ericsson, and Ericsson got loose off of 2. You can see that back end swim just a little bit, and that's why he couldn't get all the way down to the bottom of 3. Move, Jesse Jensen, maybe not quite yet, but he's got the preferred line going into the first turn. Now move him up to 2nd.
And it looks like, I was going to say Ericsson might get hung up now and not be able to get down, and then Camp's going to take that 3rd spot from him.
Right place, right time for Austin Camp. Now 5 laps to go. Is there time enough for Jensen to run down Jim Fody? There is a slower car in between them, but he should dispatch of the 10 of Cameron Iverson relatively quickly here off of turn number 2. Jensen passed 2nd place. He's on the march, coming after Jim Fody. 4 to go, 2 car lengths separate him.
Yeah, he probably has enough laps to do it. He's gonna have to drive really well, hit his marks, and I think he can get to him, but he's got to pass him.
That's right.
Fody's a wily veteran.
Camp in 3rd, having another really good, strong run for him. So Fody looking for his 2nd win of the year, trying to hold off Jesse Jensen, who has been one of the dominant cars in the division, nay, the dominant car in the class when he's on the track. Goes up to the high side, makes up a ton of ground, sails it into the corner, and see you later. Jesse Jensen's got the lead at the line.
Yeah, I think he can drive that car so much deeper into the corner that you could just that's where you saw him just make up a ton of ground there in turn 3, and then just powers through in turn 2.
Anytime that you can pass on the outside with that much ease, the advantage that gives you is just incredible. As Jensen to the white flag, 1 to go here for the 3 car. Fody 2, Camp 3, and down the back straightaway for the final time. Another impressive win coming up. Just got to make one more corner. He's got her for Jesse Jensen in the 3. Jensen wins. 2nd to Fody, 3rd to Camp. Congratulations to the Will Cruzmore team. Dirk and Jeff and Rob and all those guys doing a great job out there.
Yeah, it was great, nice to see Austin Camp, another podium. That's 2 straight.
And Jim Fody with a runner-up here. Let's get your winners and your runner-ups' words at the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
Quite the battle you had to go through in order to hang on to this 3rd place. Fighting through the field with Kenny, with Jim, eventually with Jesse and Mark also coming up on you. A lot of these drivers have been scored high in points. You've been an underdog, yet here you are, and I don't see Mark here.
Yeah, man, truer words have never been said. It's really quite an honor to be out here running up front with the senior guys. So many of them helped me a lot, taught me a lot, shared so much knowledge with me. And it's pretty damn cool to be up here sharing the podium with Jesse. So good times, man.
What's it like for you to get this 2nd podium in a row?
Twice in a row, man. Big shout out to my daughter, Adriana. It's her birthday today, so couldn't think of any better way to do it.
Who else would you like to thank for this 3rd place run?
I'm going to do it better this time. I'm not as nervous as last time. We'll start from the top. Ad Taxi. They've been with me since the beginning. Dirt Cheap Sewer, Avakin Real Estate, Central Welding, so many others. And, of course, my crew who's out there with me every weekend, my wife, my family, my friends, all the WQMA supporters, man. It's just so cool to be out here and share this stuff with you guys.
Driver of the number 69, 3rd place tonight, Austin Camp. I love you. All right, Jim, earlier on in the year, you broke a streak, finally came home with the win. Looked like you were going to do it tonight. What more do you think you needed to hold off Jesse?
Oh, I don't know if there's any holding off Jesse. He's fast. He's a fun guy to run with. He's helped me a little bit, and I appreciate all his help and everything he does. And I'd just like to thank Ridgemark for sponsoring me, and Vista Supreme, Jay, my brother, Sean Fitzpatrick, the whole Fitzpatrick crew helps me out, especially my wife. She puts up with me, and believe me, that's a job in itself.
You kept your composure there through a very, very chaotic start to this race. What is the secret to holding on to that?
Just close one eye.
Anyone else you'd like to thank?
Oh, that's all I can remember right now, man. Thank you very much. I know a lot of people help me out here, and I just like to thank everybody, especially the special needs lady over here with the helmet on.
Driver of the number 85, Jim Fody, finishes second tonight. I stopped by Northwest Differential a while back, your former sponsor back in the 31. You've traded a late model for this street stock. Which one do you like more?
They're both blast. I ain't gonna lie. This is definitely a lot more cheaper for me because I just get to show up and drive it and have a lot of fun. But I miss the late model for sure, and I made a bet with my son actually last night. If he finished in the top 8 in his race, I'd get to work on the late model and come race it again. And he finished 4th, so I got some work to do.
Sounds like it. Now, you put on a show, charging through the field, making that pass with only 2 to go. Jesse, what's the secret to that number 3 car?
The guys that work on it. Rob, he puts countless hours in on the thing. Same with Jeff, Randall, Dirk. He just pays the bills, but it all works out. We all work together. It's a great team. It's a lot of fun. I can't thank them enough for doing all they do.
2 more races to go. What are your odds, you think, going for the championship?
We're not really focused on that, honestly. There's some other guys in front of us that are a little ways out there. We'll let them fight for it. We'll show up and try and get a couple more trophies.
Who would you like to thank for this amazing run?
Evergreen Speedway, for one. It's the greatest short track in Washington State and maybe on the West Coast. I've been coming here since I was basically born, and I can't thank the Hobbs for everything they do to give us a great place to race. It's just, it's a great place to come and spend time with your family. I'd like to thank Tire Pros, our main sponsor, for making it happen. Just everybody that helps out on this car. I know I'm terrible at remembering this stuff, but Tom at Napa, he was a huge help this week, so thanks, Tom. Yeah, just everybody that helps out.
Driver of the number 3 race winner tonight, Jesse Jensen.
Well, we have hit the segment that we have been waiting for here on Home Track Heroes. It is going to be our Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model A main event. These guys and girls rip-roaring and ready to go. Derek, I'm looking forward. This should be a lot of fun.
Yep, good group of cars here.
75 laps around on our 3/8 mile.
Yep.
All right, let's get your lineup. Caden Holm, K9 car, Johansson Mechanical, his sponsor. Welcome back, Ted Lindgren, American Image Hair Replacement, car number 88 on the outside of the front row.
In the second row, we have the 78 of Haley Constant, sponsored by Joe's Racing Products, and the 7D of Dawson Cox, sponsored by Busch Light.
Row number 3 is Wyatt Gardner. Gardner Roofing sponsors the 3 Machine. Greg Bennett next to him. The 98 is sponsored by Bennett Design Construction.
Next row back is the 45 of Nick Beecher, sponsored by Kendall Auto Group, and the 18 of Nama Lang, sponsored by J&R Chuck Reynolds.
Row number 5, the Northwest Boiler, number 14 of Colton Price. Next to him, Chad Fitzpatrick, the 12C, sponsored by Trademark RCS.
Behind them, the 16 of Daniel Moore, sponsored by PRCBD, and the 5 of Brad Thomas, sponsored by Armageddon Arms.
And Chase Gardner's at the back of the field. HCI Steel Buildings sponsors car number 32 for Gardner. 13 cars, 75 laps. Nama Lang has been the dominant force in the division this year. He is your defending track champion, coming off the outside of the 4th row. We'll keep our eyes back on the 18 as he always seems to be a factor in these Pro Late Model main events by hook or by crook some way. He's always at least up front near the end.
We have had, so Caden Holm definitely been hot here of late.
Yep.
Colton Price definitely hot here of late, and it's just nice to see Ted Lindgren back after his accident earlier this year.
That second row is a very talented second row as far as driving talent goes. Dawson's been a feature winner here. Haley's still looking for her first. As we'll come off the corner, 75 laps of green flag action underway here in the Pro Late Models.
And Caden Holm jumps out to an early lead. Dawson Cox looking to sneak in, maybe go 3 wide, but Ted hangs some tires off the back end, and that gives Dawson the open door to charge up into second.
So it is Holm in the K9 leading lap number 1. Holm out in front, second, Constance. She's got the special central welding wrap still on there. Gonna cede the spot to Cox. Cox will get by, and there's Beecher in the Oberg Racing number 45 car. Nick Beecher has been a guy, we've talked a lot about it. He's a very good front runner. He's led a lot of laps, but they battle consistency in the race car as the race goes on. This time he's going to actually have to come up from behind a little ways.
Yeah, that car just it seems to perform really well early in the race. And, man, Dawson is sparking something fierce all over.
A lot of drag. Well, these cars are at their heaviest fuel load right now. They'll burn off some fuel as the race goes on, but right now you would expect them to be as close to dragging as possible.
Yeah.
And that might also be a miscalculation in brake. You know, these cars can set the percentage of front brake to rear brake within an adjustment knob in their cockpit, and they might have had just a little too much front brake dialed into the thing, so when he went to get on the brakes getting into the corner, it bottomed to brake too hard, drove too much, and scraped. We'll see if that continues on as the race moves on. There's Constance with a look to the inside of Beecher coming off of 4.
And looks like a good move. Looks like she is going to make that pass there. So it returns the favor of earlier in the race. And the question is Beecher going to get hung up and get freight trained here by Bennett and Nema and Lindgren and
everybody else who's managed to get down to the low side of the racetrack and work. And although Constance has not completely made the pass yet, Beecher really fighting hard, and that is something we've seen out of Nick, is he is not an easy mark to get by when he's in this outside groove. He will fight tooth and nail.
So I wonder what his spotter was saying there. I wonder if the spotter was saying, hey, shut the door. Or, you know, because he kind of stayed on the outside, and he could have dropped down, I think, and maybe opened the door for Bennett, but it looks like he finally got down to the bottom.
Yeah, that door stayed open long enough for him to get down there, and that was good timing on Beecher's part. And you wonder if Bennett's spotter wasn't saying, hey, you got to push. That inside's open. Take the spot if you can get there.
Yeah.
Interesting race strategy always playing out, and that's one of the fun things here in the Pro Late models. It's not necessarily always about who's making the fastest lap, but there is some spotting strategy that comes in. There is some push now, let him go now strategy that comes in as well.
Yeah, obviously, you know, we're going 75 laps, which is different from a lot of the other classes. So it's, you know, you don't have to win the race on the first lap. Sometimes we still see guys that want to.
Well, nobody can win the race in the first lap, but, you know, you darn can lose it.
Looks like Chad is trying to put a move on Price back there, going to the outside. Ooh, great save by Bennett there.
Yeah, that got tight for a second. Both drivers driving away, coming off the corner. We're 10 laps into this, make it 11 laps in. Holmes still leads. Here comes Bennett looking to the inside again on Beecher coming off of the corner.
I think Beecher's having trouble just sticking to that bottom. He's running that kind of middle groove, and I just think he's I don't know if the car's not comfortable, or you'd think he'd want to get locked down there, but yeah, he keeps washing up something fierce.
Yeah, it's going to cost him 2 spots this time, I think, as Bennett gets by and Nema got the nose in just in time. So you might shuffle Beecher back a whole nother spot coming off the corner. Nema Lang, typically when he shoots, he don't miss, as he makes his way to the bottom of turn number 1 and nosing ahead the 18 car, now up and into position 5 with Lindgren and Colton Price, the newly married Colton Price, by the way. Congratulations to him and Trinity on their nuptials. I expected a bigger wedding. We didn't get one. That's fine.
Well, the question is if you're getting married during race season, like, is there like a code? Like, okay, we gotta, you know.
Maybe that's why it was a small affair.
My favorite wedding story in racing is Tom Moriarty. His daughter scheduled her wedding during a race, and he went to the wedding in his tux, headed to the track, ended up racing that night.
Fantastic. Did he win?
I mean,
if he didn't, then it's all pointless, right?
Yeah. For the sake of the story, we're gonna say he won.
Okay. All right. I know Tom Moriarty won a race once, so maybe that was the one.
Maybe twice.
We are watching 4th place, Greg Bennett, the 98, the 18 of Nema Lang. Those two racing for 4th. Meanwhile, for the lead, Caden Holm has seen what advantage he had evaporate a little bit. It is the 7 of Dawson Cox right in behind him. Dawson driving the Busch Beer car, and this segment brought to you by Busch Beer, the official beer of NASCAR and Evergreen Speedway. Busch Beer, the sound of refreshment. Crisp and cold as a mountain stream. Keep your fridge happy by stocking it with Busch and Busch Light.
Ooh, Ted Lindgren. Ooh, great save coming out of turn 4. Got loose. Almost went towards that inside wall. That could have been really bad.
But it was not.
It was not.
We continue on as Holm starting to feel pressure. Here from the 7 of Cox. Cox within a car length of Caden and looks like getting faster down the back straightaway as he's going to come in and maybe start using the nose. We'll get the in-car camera look from the Brandy Hood promotion shot. Thank you to Brandy. As he'll come in on the corner and Dawson Cox trying to make something happen on the back of Caden Holm.
Holm definitely had a better turn 2 that time. That last lap definitely washed out a little bit. That gave Dawson the chance to get right to the back and the ability to use that bumper.
Dawson's taking a very flat entrance into turn number 3, but I'll tell you what, the car is sticking at the bottom of the corner. They've got a really good handling race car right now, does the Cox team in the 7.
Well, it looks like all 3 of these cars are doing well. They've kind of checked out a little bit. They almost, they got a whole corner.
Right. Haley has used this opportunity to also close up. So Holm, as he was losing his advantage to Cox, Constance right up now, close enough to Dawson to start putting the moves on the 7 machine.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how patient Dawson is here. He definitely stuck his nose in a couple times, kind of backed off a little bit now.
Of these 3, he's the only one familiar with winning Pro Late Model races amongst this group. Holm and Constance still looking for their first, although both Holm and Constance have won plenty of races in their career, just not here in Pro Late Models at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, Holm had a great run last time out when that was on the 5.8, wasn't it?
I believe it was.
Oh,
yeah. Caden's really been building momentum here over the course of the year. That car looks better nearly every time it hits the track as Holm continues to enjoy this lead. He's led the first third of this race. First 25 laps, 50 to go now for the K9 machine. Father Derek and all the guys with Johansson Mechanical backing it and really have him humming something good as there goes Dawson. You saw him take a different exit to the corner as he pursues Holm down the front straightaway.
Yeah, I see what you mean with his turn coming out of 2, man. He is just hooked to the bottom there, and he does good drive come out of 2.
A little scrape again. You saw a little more sparkage coming out underneath the 7, and now Constance, that car is carrying a lot of momentum off of turn number 4. Went a little bit lower into 1 and 2, hoping that the 7 car had drifted up at the exit of the corner, but couldn't quite get there. Watch Haley again as the speed that she is coming off of turn 4 with and closing up on the back of Dawson is pretty incredible. See if that pays off for her long term here. Top 3 still in order as it is Bennett, Lang, and Price, 4, 5, and 6 that you're watching right now, the 98, the 18, and the 14.
Yeah, that little bobble cost Lindgren the 6th spot to let Price up in there. But yeah, Haley's and Dawson, I think, have had a couple races where they've battled it out here this year, so they're no strangers to racing with each other.
Pit nearly right next to each other amongst the run and the back, so Bennett and the 98 car doing a really good job of keeping Nema at bay. And I mean, we're 30 laps into this, and this is a very strong performance for Greg.
Well, what I was actually, they've actually, that second group has closed the gap. All 3 of those cars have kind of caught up to that, the first 3 that kind of were starting to take off, but they're starting to reel them in.
So Bennett pushing hard to soak up some of the distance in between them as Holm got away from Cox a little bit out of turn number 2. But there is Greg Bennett in 4th, and he is closing on the 78 of Haley Constance. So Constance, who has been pressuring Cox, is seeing the advantage that she had in 3rd evaporate quickly, and that changes your perspective as a driver as well, where you could do nothing but play offense for a little while. Now with somebody creeping up on you, you got to be a little more conservative in order to keep that spot. You can't afford to make the big mistake now.
Man, but look at Bennett is coming fast. So that's that. We'll add another car into this top group here, and then it might get real interesting.
Yeah, Greg Bennett looks like the fastest of 4 right now. As he's maintained that pad over Lang during the process of closing on the stop group. Contact as the nose of the 78 working on the 7 of Cox. They both drive away and through, but Haley pushing harder now through 4, feeling the heat in behind her as she's trying to get up a spot and advance into 2nd. Holm 1, Cox 2, Constance 3, Bennett 4. The 7 of Cox, 78 of Constance, 98 of Bennett. Now here comes 5th and 6th closing in.
So the question is do any of these, does anybody want to try the outside? The person that's probably most likely to maybe go outside is sitting there in 5th in Nama Lang. We've seen him use the outside to go around, but it's scary.
He's the only one with the consistent history of showing that he knows how to get around guys on the outside. Veteran driver, multiple-time track champion, veteran crew who knows how to set the car up to get around in any groove. As down low, Constance, left side tires just a hair below the white. She's got opportunity going into 1 here.
Well, we had talked about how good and hooked up Dawson was in 1 and 2, and the last couple laps he just couldn't keep it down to the bottom. And Haley, I think, saw that and just said, "Well,
Oh, that's a problem." Cars together. It's Bennett and the 7 of Cox. As interesting what happened in that corner.
Yeah, there. Well,
Oh.
Never a good thing when you see a guy pop out of a car that fast.
No, he's out of the car.
I'm sure he's just saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?"
Oh, I don't think they're exchanging meatloaf recipes by any means here, Derek.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. He's back. We'll get back to the car. Well, throw the helmet down.
Oh,
no. You know what? He's still not done.
No, we're not done. Hey!
Greg's like, I'm out of here.
If any of you guys...
Wow.
Wow, that's an easy way to break a right foot. That's another way to break up something. Don't do that. That's bad.
Dawson.
That's bad, man. No, that's...
Dawson seems upset.
You think? Well,
hey, it'll be interesting. Okay, we have some replays, so it'll be interesting to see... your car's over there, Dawson.
Well, now he's down. He's taking it out on our tire pile now. Wow.
Well, let's see. Here's from Nama Lane.
Okay. Well, yeah, they make contact and go off into the wherever.
You can't really tell on that one.
Into the turn.
So Dawson drifts.
All right, I can come up with an explanation. Greg pushed hard to get underneath Dawson when Dawson got wide, and the car pushed mid-corner, and they made contact, just like that.
So, because Cox is coming back down a little bit, trying to correct, but...
Well, let's take a break. Cooler heads will prevail. We're back with more late model main event next at Home Track Heroes. Well, the fireworks on track were something serious. Hopefully, cooler heads have now prevailed here on Home Track Heroes on KSDW. I'm Caleb Hardy's Derek Hobbs, and, well, when you last left us, Caden Holm was leading, but the top 3 was in the process of changing. It'll now be Haley Constance in 2nd, and I think, after all that, Nama Lang going to be up into 3rd, as we don't have many laps left to go in this deal.
Yeah, and then Colton Price is in 4th, so... Looks like we got 3 of the top 4 here in car here for you.
So we'll take a look and see what goes down. Constance is on the outside, Holm on the inside as we get ready to come back to green flag action.
So in the mini stocks we saw the outside kind of was they did really well on that outside groove, but I don't know. Nobody's really used it tonight with the Pro Lates.
Let's see what kind of start they get coming off the line, and it looks like a really good one for Haley. Coming down the front straightaway, green flag is out. And as they roll into turn number 1, Holm cut that corner, and it's going to be Constance with the velocity on the outside to drive up and into the top spot. So, on the restart, Haley Constance takes the lead over Caden Holm. Holm bringing the car down racetrack, and this is just beyond the halfway point of this, with the 18 of Lang sitting in 3rd.
Caden Holm kind of took a weird, angle on that restart. He kind of went wide, like he was trying to push her up. Okay. Lindgren pulled out a line there.
Oops! Oh, there goes around Chad Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, a loop in the middle of turn number 2, and caution flag out on the 12C.
Did he get caught by Beecher here?
Let's take a look going into the turn. Into the corner. You know that thing that we saw earlier in the mini stocks where it was like 2 cars, wrong place, wrong time? I think maybe as Chad begins to get just a little hairy, he might have gotten a little help.
Yeah,
Let's take a look.
And Beecher's trying to, I think I don't know.
The
That's
black
tough.
nose of the Beecher car makes it really hard to see, how much, if at any contact had happened there. But wrong place, wrong time. Unfortunately, Chad to the back of the field, and he's going to have to rally his way back forward here in this A-main event. But just beyond halfway, he's got some time left to do it, so they'll stack back up 2 by 2.
All right, so we'll have Haley on the inside this time.
Yep, she'll be on the low side. It's going to be Holm on the outside. Lang and Price. Lindgren really having a good run there on the inside of row number 3 with Daniel Moore, feature winner on the year, next to him. Wyatt Gardner's very sharp-looking car.
So, but Holm was first, so he chose to go outside, didn't he?
Nope.
Or did Haley?
Nope.
Okay.
Haley got him. Haley
Okay.
got him on lap number 38 by my math.
Okay.
So here we come back to green. Off the corner we go, and now it's going to give Caden a chance to start on the outside and maybe see if what's good for the goose is good for the gander, if he can drive back up and around the Constance car. He's going to try. Lang's got to look to the inside. He couldn't make it work. Caden Holm coming back after Haley Constance. So we're 40 laps into this. Make it 41, and Holm gets the lead back.
Well, not so fast. Haley's still trying hard to keep that inside spot.
And this time, Caden gets way wide coming off the edge, so give it back to Haley here on lap number, make it 41, 42 at this point in time. So
I think that's another one where this is your spotter of Holm is like, okay, just try to sneak in there before Nema gets it, but I think Nema, oh no.
Look
oh
out.
Boy.
Oh, hello. Monster trucks, late model style, is Daniel Moore over the front end of Ted Lindgren. He's going to need a new left front corner panel. Let's get a look. We got a couple of different replays of this is what we're
Ted
being
loves
told.
to crash the car spectacularly. I will give him that.
That's true. Into the corner, and wow, yeah, that's a lot of throttle out of the 16 car coming in and through there. I'm trying to be nice about it, but you call it as you see it sometimes. Into the turn from Fitzpatrick's point of view.
Wow. Great driving by Chad.
Yeah, good job him missing a couple. He'll pick up a couple spots. Here's Lindgren into the corner, around, and hey, hello, 16. It's not quite the viewpoint that I expected to see on that. Ted's got the beautiful digital gauges in the cockpit. Did you see that?
It looks nice, yeah.
Easy to see. I could almost tell what his oil pressure was.
Oh.
I could tell that his blood pressure probably would have gone up a little bit after that. So
Yeah, turn 4 hasn't been kind to Ted this year.
not in the Pro Late model,
No.
that's for sure. So we're going to get a restart with 33 left, and once again, Constance and Holm going to be right next to each other side by side. It's that same second row of Lang and Price, and now it is Wyatt Gardner and the 5 of Brad Thomas up there with the 6th place run. Nice run, Brad.
And it's nice to see Wyatt up there. He kind of missed it on the TV, but he had to pull off after we gridded because he had a piece of, I don't know, exhaust or something like that. So he had to go to the pit. So he came out at the very end, but he was supposed to start like 5th or something like that.
And he's rallied all the way back up to the back of the field. That's after making a really late choice to drop a crate motor into his his super late model car and come out and compete. Here on the restart, Caden Holm.
Colton Price.
Ooh, look out. Got some shoving in and through at the line. It is Holm leading lap number 43. All right. So this lead keeps changing hands back and forth. Constance trying to make her way back to the inside, fighting for the top spot.
And we have seen this quite a few times, just side-by-side racing in the pro lates, mid-race.
Yep, especially off these restarts where these cars are really even. Now give them a few laps to have the tires warm up a little bit more or come back to optimal temperature. Holm having to make his hay in the outside groove. Constance down low, and she is losing ground to him as Caden Holm's got the lead. Colton Price has worked his way into 3rd now as Holm brought the car down racetrack. Might have pushed too hard. He gets to the gets out to the grass, but brings it back down, and now Constance inside and Price outside, both on him, looking to retake the lead.
He keeps really, going out wide in turn 4. I wonder if that's kind of where Haley's going to try to make the move to the inside. It feels like Caden's really having to fight the car, whereas Haley's pretty smooth. And you see a lot of back and see there. It seems like Caden's fighting the car. It's fast, but he's definitely having to fight it more.
Fast, but a handful. We'll see how that plays out over these final few laps as Holm looking for his first Pro Late model win. Doesn't have a whole lot of distance to go, but boy, that field is fast in behind him.
I was a little better on that one, but that's something to kind of keep an eye on. Oh, well, now Haley's got to watch out for Price because it looks like Price is oh, what?
Again, Holm off the back straightaway And I think we're going to see a lead change here. Maybe not this lap, but Constance back to the inside as Holmes, struggling with the race car, hangs on to her for now. But there is Haley Constance down low, door panel to door panel, and nose to head off of turn number 2.
It just seems like Holm definitely has he struggles corner exit is where he's really struggling.
And you saw it right there as Haley Constance takes the lead.
Look at around he goes. Oh boy.
And brings Colton Price and Wyatt Gardner in with him, as we're going to have some serious reconfiguration to the front of the field, and we've got more looks at it from the camera crew. Let's see how that all went down. So there's Constance into the corner, and around goes Caden, Price, and Gardner. Wrong place, wrong time. Here's from Nama's perspective.
You know, sometimes you say you're better lucky than good, but Nema, it's like he just knows where to go. Anytime we see these.
Good combination of both right there. So final look at it. We are going to take a commercial break. 25 laps to go when we come back here in the Pro Late Model main event on Home Track Heroes. Final segment of the night here at Home Track Heroes on KSTW. He's Derek Hobbs. I'm Caleb Hart. This Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model main event has been something else. Derek is the lead. Changed hands 6 different times already in this main, and we still got a third of the race to go.
Yeah, no, it's been great door-to-door racing, especially here in the last few laps here. It's
and how's this for drama? Haley Constance looking for her first Pro Late Model main event win versus the most dominant driver of the last decade in Nama Lang right next to her, your defending track champion.
Well, then let's throw in longtime driver Chad Fitzpatrick and, a track champion in Daniel Moore.
Both feature winners on the year as well, sitting in 3rd and 4th. So
you got to earn it, kid.
All right, Haley, it is pressure is on. Green flag out. We're underway, and this first couple of corners are going to be huge. Lang has got a good run on the outside. We've seen that outside groove be good on restarts here.
Yeah, but it looks like she's hanging with him right here, staying low, and he's not jumping out.
Yeah, the one thing we haven't seen is Nama actually led lap 51 here, so there's another lead change. Nama leads that lap, but Haley back on the inside. We haven't seen Nama outside on this racetrack here during this main event. A lot of other drivers have gone up there. Lang has not, as Lang is going to keep it at the line that time. Constance trying to rally back on the inside. The good news for Haley is that she can just go here. There's no car conservation. This is just mano-y-mano, if you prefer. May the best man or woman win. Constance fighting back on the inside hard, going door panel to door panel with Naaman, trying to take it back.
And we've seen her all year. She is not afraid to race door to door with people. So that's not a worry.
She just had a great turn 1 and turn 2 there, and she's actually coming back ahead of Lang. And now with 21 to go, she will retake the lead. So she takes the lead again on lap number 54, and let's see if she can hang on to it. Is now driving away from Nama. As they'll work into turn number 3, it is Constance, Lang, Fitzpatrick. As we take a look at it, racing here at Evergreen Speedway, brought to you by Monroe Grocery Outlet, your locally owned neighborhood grocery store. Name brand products, fresh produce, organics, wine, and more, 40 to 70% less than the traditional grocery stores. Shop them first and save. Monroe Grocery Outlet, the proud sponsor of the Superstock Figure 8 class.
So it looked like Nama kind of caught back up. I don't know. I think maybe took her foot off the accelerator a little too early on that last turn 3. So let's see. Yeah, Nama seems to be driving in a little harder going into 3, but not making up too much ground right now.
She's very solid. That car is not stepping out on her. It's everywhere she needs to be, right down on the white line through 1 and 2. And watch how down on the white line she is. Takes her half a second to get down there through 3, but that car is not pushing anywhere. She's got a very good piece right now. And Lang, he is going to have to drive around her, or she's going to have to make a pretty big mistake in order for this to happen.
Well, and also the two of them seem to be kind of pulling away from Fitzpatrick and Moore as we flash back to Wyatt and Colton Price trying to make their way back up after the contact that brought out the last caution.
Price driving motivated, trying to get back up into the top finish of the field. This next time by, we will have 15 laps to go here in the Speedway Chevrolet Pro Late Model A main event. As you watch those cars from our Turn 1 cam, you can visit Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center in Monroe for customized trucks, lifted trucks. Work Trucks and Speedway Chevrolet can locate the truck that fits you best. Speedway Chevrolet and RV Center. Also wants your trade? We'll buy or consign your vehicle or RV and take the hassle out of selling it on your own. Huge thank you to Speedway Chevrolet, longtime sponsor of our Pro Late Model division, where Haley Constance is just a little ways away from her first win if she can keep expanding this advantage on Nema Lang.
I would love to see, the old Gran Turismo Ghost race. I mean, she is so consistent on these laps. Like, I mean, you could lay each lap on top of each other, and she is in the same spot.
She's got her dad, Joe, in her ear as the spotter right now, and I can only imagine what he's saying and the excitement in his world of watching his oldest daughter succeed here, or on the precipice of succeeding, still some time left.
Yeah, this is where you're like, everybody else that's racing, please keep it on the track.
Right. I can imagine that her mom, Tiffany, is probably wearing a hole in the stairs here at Evergreen Speedway, pacing back and forth. As get a look a little further back in the field, Daniel Moore for third, right up on the back of Chad Fitzpatrick, who is trying to make a pretty good night for himself in the end, but he's got to hold off the 16 car in order to do it.
Yeah, definitely Moore's caught back up there, so we'll see how much of he makes an issue of trying to get on the podium here. Both pretty clean racers, Moore and Fitzpatrick.
10 to go. Fitzpatrick and Moore, 3 and 4, the 12 car and the 16, as they move down the back straightaway. Chad putting a decent run together. Again, a feature winner here on the season as he took the Central Welding 125, held here about a month ago or so at this point.
Yeah.
So you're watching the race for third with 9 laps left. Daniel Moore just keep in touch with Chad as Chad trying to put the best laps together he can here at the very end. Now again, Moore would not only have to get up to him, but then find a way around him, as that little bit of pad that Fitzpatrick has is very comforting at this stage of the race.
Yeah, and we can just catch Haley and Nema just kind of right there. Nema is not getting close. Haley's kind of running by herself right now.
Yeah, just the edge of Nema Lang, and that's good news for Haley Constance. As we're down coming into 6 laps to go, Beecher and Price racing for position as the 45 car and the 14. And with the field, I mean, typically we do see this in some of the Pro Late Model mains, as a lot of cars have dropped out at this point. You don't expect Haley to see traffic anywhere for the rest of this.
No, it should be pretty clear the rest of the way for her.
So 3rd and 4th is what's in your screen right now. Fitzpatrick and Moore. 2nd place just at the very front of it. Your leader out with some distance at this point. 5th and 6th, a good race. And there we go. There's your lead 2. Constance has opened it up over Lang here in the final segment. 4 to go. 3/8 of a mile. Quick math. A little less than a mile and a half or so left for her. This time by a little over a mile.
Remember I told you this is the year of feel-good podiums. I don't want to jinx it.
This might be a feel-good win, much less podium, as the 78 car has been there before. Her dad, long-time fixture at Evergreen Speedway. Heck, he builds the parts that go on most of these race cars. Mini stock driver originally, late model guy, winner. Helps everybody. This is his 18-year-old daughter, Haley Constance, who is 2 laps away from writing her name permanently in the record books at Evergreen Speedway. As she comes down the back straightaway, the advantage grows bigger. 3/8 of a mile to go for the victory for Haley.
White flag out. Longest lap of her life.
Absolutely. Pressure is on. Heartbeat has got to be going 1,500 miles an hour. But she can officially say that she is a winner. Pro Late Model main event win, Haley Constance, here at Evergreen Speedway. Congratulations to her. Nema Lang 2, Chad Fitzpatrick 3. What a night this was for that team. As let's get some words from them down trackside. Derek Todoroff's got the podium with Haley Constance, your winner.
Not quite a spin and win, but nonetheless, you come from a spin, end up coming home 3rd. Put on a fantastic show tonight. What was it like from the track?
from the track, it was like being in a bump to pass race. That was ridiculous.
Loads of contact, but you held your ground.
Yeah, I did my best.
You had Daniel Moore coming up on you there at the end, driving that number 16, two-time Washington State champion. What is that like, having him in pursuit?
You know, it's always nice to race with Daniel. He tries to race like I try to race everybody. I never get worried about him. Just this race was pretty exciting for the fans and excited for all the drivers out there as well. And congratulations to Haley.
Who would you like to thank for your performance out here tonight?
I need to thank Trademark RCS, Mazda of Everett, Powder Coated Inc., Bardall. I know I'm missing a whole bunch. My whole crew, thank you.
Driver of the number 12, Chad Fitzpatrick. Coming home second tonight, but you can't say it was for lack of trying. You were right there battling it out with Haley. What was it like running those laps?
Well, I wasn't very good on the top there. I couldn't get no drive off. We just missed the setup by just a little bit. It wasn't bad, but second place car. I got to thank my guys all week long for helping out. And, you know, I had the best seat in the house watching Haley win her first race. That was awesome to see. And for me to finish second behind that's great.
Come into this race leading the points. You're pretty confident you can hang on to that for the final race?
Yeah, to be honest, I just want to win races. I don't really pay attention to them points. I quit points racing back in 08, and ever since then, I just come out here to win.
Second place tonight, driver the number 18, Naima Lang. You know, Haley, sitting on the Evergreen Speedway website on the little banner, there's a race between you and Dakota Wilkinson from your Youth Hornet days. I remember that one. I remember watching you win that one. Now we're here atop the Angel of the Winds winner's circle. Your first ever Pro Late Model win. How does it feel?
It feels awesome. I mean, I've been racing in the Pro Late Model class for 3 years now, and all of these drivers are awesome, give me a lot of respect. It's definitely been a challenge, and I'm so excited to be up here. Thanks to my crew and working so hard this season to get up to the podium in the number 1 spot.
There was a lot of beating and banging throughout the race, but you held your ground, running against veterans, some of whom who've been racing as long as you've been alive. What is that like?
It's definitely a battle. I feel bad. I got into Austin a lot. But you got to do what you got to do when you're out on the track. And thankfully, there was nobody like banging too hard with me, at least. And it was a battle all the way to the front, and I'm just glad we were able to stay there.
Who would you like to thank for this win?
I would like to thank my family, all my friends who come out and support me every weekend. Central Welding, they've been a huge help this year. Wade's Gun Shop, mytrafficman.net. I'm sure I'm forgetting a lot of people, but it's definitely a lot of work every week. Huge thank you to my dad, Gabe, my mom, and just everybody who supports me.
Everyone here, lots of people in the pits have gotten to watch you follow a path, slowly becoming the fantastic racer you proved yourself to be with this win. What's your advice for other people who want to follow that?
Keep trying. There's going to be a lot of hard days. I've gone through them. Hopefully this isn't the end. Hopefully we just keep succeeding and get higher up on all these levels. But just keep trying your hardest. Don't let anything stop you.
I, for one, am confident I'll see you up here again. Race winner, Haley Constance.
Well, what a cool night here at Evergreen Speedway. Congratulations to Haley Constance and the family as the big team win. That was awesome.
Yeah, no, that was a very loud ovation for that result.
8 different leaders, 7 lead changes for Haley to get her first win. It didn't come easy.
Oh yeah, it did not come easy, for sure.
That girl earned it. Congratulations, young lady. Glad to be a little small part of it here on Home Track Heroes. Next week on Home Track Heroes, Derek, big show. Monster trucks in the house.
Oh man, all kinds of stuff.
Hornets, Youth Hornets, lots of bus racing. You're going to want to be here for it. Next time you can come out to Evergreen Speedway, fair weekend underway. Saturday, September the 2nd, we have got figure eights, 2 different divisions, mini bump to pass, mini stocks, street stocks, and then Sunday the 3rd, fireworks show, demo derby, more buses and bump to pass. Going to be a great time.
Yes. Always, buy your tickets early.
That's right. Awesome show here on Home Track Heroes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will see you next week. For Griffin doing the production, for Derek here on this, and all of our camera guys, my name's Caleb Hart. Thank you so much. We will see you next Sunday night here on KSTW for more Home Track Heroes.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.